Hey guys, well today I was going to repot my Phalaenopsis moth orchid here. I bought this years ago and it came with a flower on top, and it flowered just the once, and ever since then it hasn't flowered at all, and by all reports it says it should flower every year, but mine never does. So I've done something wrong here. I'm about to find out why and tell you what it is. So these orchids are an epiphytic plant, which basically means that they don't grow in soil. They actually attach themselves to rocks or trees or branches, and the rain just washes the nutrients onto the root system, which feeds the plant. So my first mistake what I've done here is I've actually potted this plant in a potting mix, thinking that it actually grows in the soil. That was my first and major and worst mistake, because that's exactly what they don't like. I'm kind of lucky that it hasn't died off. It has been shooting off leaves quite often, but never flowers. And well, I like this plant, but I'd really like it more if it had some flowers on it. So what I need to do is take it out. Now they really don't like sitting in water at all, because the root system does rot away. What I'll do is I'll just transfer this soil into another pot, and I'll save this for later. I'm saving this green pot because I actually like the green pot. I think it looks nice, so that's why I'm doing this. Now I've got this plant here. What I'll do now is I'll just wash the root system off and clean that up. Now if there are any roots on this that are especially long, just cut them off with some secateurs and shorten them down. So now it's time to replant this. Now because they do grow on the sides of trees or on rocks, the best place to plant them is actually in bark. Now I actually picked up this bark here that was especially for orchids. It's about 20 years old. I got it out of an attic of a house, so I'm kind of keen to see whether or not it still works properly, but I'm willing to give it a go. So I'll fill this up about halfway and I'll put the roots in, and now I'll just go and fill this up with this bark. They don't like to be sitting in water at all. They like a nice aerated root system. They prefer temperatures between 20 and 30 degrees Celsius, and humid as well. Also, they don't like being in direct sunlight. It can actually burn the leaves. This leaf here looks like it's been a bit burnt. That could be from anything, but that's what happens to the leaves if they're in direct sunlight. So keep them in a low light area, in the shade, full shade, and keep their roots aerated. So I'll just wash any of this bark off the leaves and just give it a quick initial drink. So now I'll just put this back in my nice shady area that I've got for it, and I'll water it maybe once a week. Don't overwater it, but I will fertilise it with a liquid fertiliser about once a month, just to give a little bit more nutrients to the root, and hopefully that'll help this flower. These really are a pretty orchid, and I really wish it would flower, so let's see if the bark and what I've done to it today works. So remember, if you are repotting, plant your orchid in a nice loose bark mix to make sure that the roots are really well aerated. Don't overwater it, just water it about once a week. Fertilise it about once a month and keep it out of direct sunlight in the shade, and hopefully the plant will thrive and flower with lots and lots of big flowers on it. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you next time.